I'm not here to tell you which supplements to take, and I'm not here to give you a magic pill solution either, but I am here to tell you that you do not need to spend the rest of your life feeling bloated. If you have tried everything in your power to either de-bloat, get rid of inflammation, get rid of brain fog, have normal poops, and ultimately heal your gut, and you feel like you've tried everything, yet nothing seems to work, then you and we have shared some of the same frustrations. And you are not alone. But lucky for you, I went on this journey to heal my gut and got to the root of my issues, and I finally have some guidance that I really hope helps you out. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Aileen, and I'm a certified Pilates instructor from Miami. I hope that you have enjoyed my gut health journey that I have been documenting, and it's a little bittersweet to say that this is the final episode of this series. It's crazy how quickly 3 months can go by. But as you know, health is a lifelong journey, and this doesn't mean that my gut health journey is ending, but this is the last dedicated episode of this series, for now at least, where I will also be sharing my final results. Check out episodes 1 and 2 for the day-by-day steps, the phases, test results, progress, all of those details. I'll continue to share my health updates in my weekly vlogs, so be sure to subscribe if you are interested in seeing future progress that I make. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a rapid fire of all the changes that we made and my 3 main takeaways from this journey, so that if you are looking to heal your gut, you can use this as a little roadmap and maybe just have a better understanding of what to expect from this process. And by we, I mean me and my dietitian. Quick disclaimer, I am not the dietitian here, and I am not encouraging you to make any of the same changes that were made for me and my body. Please simply use this video for information or for inspiration. Okay, so let's recap the past 3 months, shall we? On April 1st, 2024, I started working with a dietitian and nutritionist. Her name is Jessica Mantell at Next Generation Nutrition. She came recommended by a Pilates instructor at the studio that I work with, who also works with Jessica. Her name is Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I have linked all of her information below in case you are looking to work with her as well. Now, prior to working with Jessica, I suffered from extreme bloating, major stomach issues, fatigue, you name it. I had it. Any meal that I had was basically a trigger. It doesn't matter how healthy the meal was. And when I say extreme bloating, I mean extreme bloating. I looked about 9 months pregnant. I want to say like 80 to 90% of the time. And honestly, it was really embarrassing. I live a really healthy lifestyle, and I felt like my body did not resemble the way that I choose to eat and live my life. It got to the point where I was getting really pale and dehydrated on certain days because of how much I was going to the bathroom. And I knew something was wrong. So my main goal when starting this journey was to, yes, of course, de-bloat, but I really wanted to figure out what was causing all of these issues. I felt like I couldn't trust my body. I didn't know what was causing it. I didn't know what to eat, what not to eat. I felt very lost. In the past 3 months, I have realized so much more that has come from this journey, that yes, while my main goal was to de-bloat and to figure out the root of my issues, throughout this process, I've also realized I've seen progress in other areas that I'll talk about in just a bit that have truly exceeded my expectations for starting my gut health journey. I really started feeling progress in areas of my life that I did not expect. On one hand, the results that I was looking for was to feel less bloated. And on the other hand, I wanted to look not 9 months pregnant. So my goals were a mix of a way I wanted to feel and a way I wanted to look. And now, just because these were the goals that I had for me and my body does not mean that you should copy and paste for you and your body. Dig deep and find out why you want to heal your gut for your own reasons. It is the only way that you are going to find true satisfaction with this process. Okay, so here is a rapid fire of all the changes that have happened between April 1st to now, Thursday, June 27th. I stopped intermittent fasting. I am now gluten-free because I am predisposed to celiac disease. I stopped drinking coffee and started having matcha. I took many supplements, which I go over in detail in my second gut health video. There are certain supplements that I took temporarily and certain supplements that I will continue to take over time. The first week that I started taking the supplements, I was exhausted. I would come home from the studio and take naps, and I was just fatigued and physically and mentally drained. I needed to rest, like really, really needed to rest. About 1 week after I was taking the supplements is when I really started to feel the difference. It took about 7 days. On that 7th day mark, I started feeling less brain fog, more energy. I was sleeping really soundful, really well from that day moving forward. And then I started taking Seed, the pre and probiotic, once I was in the right phase for it. Jessica made it very clear that if I would have started taking the pre and probiotic too soon, based off of my GI map results, I probably would have felt sick. So the pre and probiotic came in at a phase once my body was prepared for it. Now that we have a little rapid fire backstory of the past 3 months, let's start with my main takeaway from this journey. There is no one size fits all when it comes to gut health. I mean, health in general for that matter. You can do all the research you want. You can watch all the gut health videos on YouTube that you want. You can take all the supplements that you find with raving reviews. You can try every meal plan that's out there. But at the end of the day, everyone is different. And unless you run tests, you won't know what your body specifically needs or lacks. So something that works for me may not work for you. Pretty obvious, right? But it's why I can't recommend any supplements to you. Mainly because I do not know which supplements I would even recommend. I am simply following Jessica's protocol, but I would not know where to start if I was doing this on my own. And B, because I've never met your gut. I don't know what is going on inside of your body. So all those supplements that you see online that people are recommending and that you see ads for, yes, they could be amazing, but just because they work for one person does not necessarily mean that they're going to work for you. We ran 3 tests throughout this journey, a GI map test and 2 blood tests, one for food sensitivities and allergies and one mainly for my hormones. From those test results, we got to see where my body needed the supplement support and truly how imbalanced my gut was. Once I started taking the supplements, I felt at peace in a sense, knowing that I was taking it because my body needed it, not just because someone online recommended it. The best way of getting to the root of your issues is to run these tests. And yes, I know, working with a nutritionist, a dietitian, running these tests, it's definitely an investment and it's not cheap. It's something that I saved up for, which takes me directly into takeaway number 2, choose to invest in your health. Health is wealth. If you are serious about getting to the root of your issues, you can go through trial and error of different diets, protocol, supplements, you name it. But at the end of the day, you may end up spending more money, time, and energy going through this trial and error rather than just trusting your gut, pun intended, and leaning on an expert. You know your body best, so if you clicked on this video, maybe now is the time for you to take that step. Maybe it's not, and that is okay. For me, I had been putting it off and off and off, and it got to the point where one day I said, okay, I need to do this. I texted Jessica, I think it was like at 11 p.m. one night, and I was like, I need to start ASAP. At that point, I had done the free 15-minute consultation with her about 2 months prior. It got to the point where I just could not take the stomach discomfort any longer. I know not everyone is financially in the position to hire a nutritionist or a dietitian, but you can take it small in the beginning. Maybe just start with the GI map test or the food sensitivities test and take it from there. Figure out what you really want to look at based off of your symptoms and figure out a game plan of how you will pay for it. If you really want to, you will. You can stop getting those coffee runs. You can stop going out to dinner and making more home-cooked meals. You can adjust your finances to make this possible. The blood tests that we did were covered by my insurance, but the GI map test was not. And even though that test is pricey, I can tell you I would probably have a lot of health complications down the line in the future if I would have never gotten these test results and started addressing how imbalanced my gut truly was. Even though I live a very, very healthy lifestyle, I can promise you that it is well worth the investment. And it's information that you can utilize for the rest of your life. For example, I was eating spinach and green beans basically every day with my dinner, only to find out that I have a sensitivities to both of these vegetables. The third takeaway that I have from this journey is to give your body grace. Throughout this journey, my body has gone through a lot of changes, and it's really important to tell your body how much much you love it and appreciate it, as silly as that sounds. You have to trust the process. When you are going through those detox phases and you know you need to rest, you need to say no to certain things in your life so you can prioritize your body's needs. It's not forever, but just know that the more you give your body the grace and the attention that it deserves, the better that the process is going to be for you. And the more that you accept change for your body, the easier it will be for your body to adapt to these changes. In the last month of this program is when we did my hormones testing and a full blood panel, and I am very healthy, which is amazing news. I go over all these test results in one of my most recent vlogs if you're curious in checking that out. I had my final meeting with Jessica and Sarah yesterday, and we went over which supplements I will take for the next month and which ones I will continue to take over time. And now that my gut is balanced, I am feeling the best I ever have. Here's a quick rapid fire of all the changes I am feeling in my body since healing my guts. I have no brain fog, which honestly at the time, I just thought, okay, this is life. Like, this is how people feel, but no. Now that I have no brain fog, looking back, I realize almost like what a daze I was living in. And I just thought it was normal. But let me tell you, it is not normal. So if you have the sensation or the feeling that you might have some brain fog, just know that you are probably right. And it doesn't have to be like this forever. I am sleeping a solid 8 hours every single night, really soundful, restful sleeps. Let's face it, my poops are solid and very consistent. And that's all I'll say about that. My skin feels clearer. My eyelashes feel like they're growing somehow. I'm not using any serums or anything. Like they're getting longer. I don't know. My hair feels healthier. Food tastes better. I get more energized after having a meal. Like I feel like my body is actually absorbing the nutrients of all these amazing foods that I'm eating. And lastly, I feel more at peace with my relationship with food, which honestly is a very big win. All of this to say, I really didn't have to change how I was eating once I started working with Jessica. She has provided me with some amazing recipes, which I tried in one of my most recent videos. Be sure to check that out. But I've really just have gotten creative with my meals. Prior to working with Jessica, I already had a really good foundation of how I was eating. So not much changed in terms of the meals, except for getting more creative with my plates. But that is how I know that the changes I'm feeling are directly related to her protocol, because it's the only change that has happened. Nothing else. What's that called in science? Like independent variable testing? I don't know. You know what I mean, hopefully. But really, nothing else in my life had changed other than following her protocol. So that's how I know it is directly related. Like the progress that I'm seeing and feeling is directly related to the phases that we went through for my entire journey. Now that my gut is healed and I feel the absolute best that I ever have, honestly, in my entire life, like not to sound dramatic, but truly, now is when we are going to transition into my weight loss journey. Realistically, I could not focus on both at the same time. Like my gut was so imbalanced that is what I needed to focus on. I started feeling the difference and I started realizing I'd rather feel healthy than lose weight right now. That's a fact. So I will update on my weight loss journey as it happens right here on YouTube, but I will say that I won't really be stepping on the scale. I've never been a fan of letting a number depict my mood for the day, how I feel, or how healthy I am. So I will update on my weight loss journey with photos. Speaking of photos, here is how my stomach looked 3 months ago in terms of bloating, and here is how my stomach looks today on my period. So still a little bit of bloat, but definitely I don't look 9 months pregnant. 2 weeks ago, I did have a flare-up, which caused me to get pretty bloated, but it did subside within a couple of days. And even though my stomach feels amazing right now, I know that flare-ups may happen in the future. What's important is that I am not bloated like this all day, every day, how I used to be a couple of months ago. I wanted to give a very big thank you to Jessica and Sarah at Next Generation Nutrition. You guys made this entire process so smooth and so comforting, and it can be really scary to go through a process like this and to get your test results. But you guys really did make the process so nice for me, even through the really hard times. So thank you. You guys are the best. I will rave about you to my friends and family and all of my YouTube friends for years and years and years to come. In September, I am gearing up for marathon training for my first ever marathon. And Jessica will be helping me with my marathon meal plan and how to fuel for my runs. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I hope that you subscribe and stick around for it all. In the next 2 months, throughout July and August, the goal is weight loss. So stay tuned. And I think that about wraps it up. I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below with any questions that you may have. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for my next vlog. Bye.